After the main village, we saw steps that would lead us to Tin Hau Temple. The steps passed through some trees, Hong Kong's own forest, perhaps. I tell you what, Bernie, I'll race you up the steps through that forest. Last person to the top buys lunch. What do you say? Bernie seemed a little unsure of my challenge, but he nodded his head and agreed. At the top of my voice, I began, "Are you ready? After 3, 1, 2, 3. And we were off. Bernard was a little slow, and I was soon in the lead. I had to win. Onto the steps, trees covering the pathway. I had to look at my feet and steps carefully to make sure I did not slip. I peered over my shoulder and saw my cousin. Suddenly, a loud and piercing scream cut through the humid air. Before I could even look round, thundering steps approached me from behind. Like a speeding car on an empty highway, Bernie flew past, still screaming. He disappeared into the distance, leaving me far behind. I finally caught up with him at the top of the hill. Bernie sat there stuttering, Spiders! I hate spiders!" I did not know what he was talking about and frowned. Bernie pointed towards the steps we had just run up. I walked back to them to see what he meant. This time, instead of looking down, I looked up into the trees. To my horror, I saw giant webs. In the centre of each one was an enormous spider, bigger than a grown man's hand. Legs the length of bamboo chopsticks, long bodies with straight yellow lines painted down the back, evil-looking heads that were surely filled with fangs bursting with lethal poison. I shivered. Bernie was right. They did look pretty scary. I returned to my cousin, who was still sobbing. "Spiders! Hundreds! Huge! Never seen any so big! No spiders like this in England! I hate spiders!" "You mean you're like Ron Weasley in Harry Potter?" I asked. Holding his hands to his bright red face, he shrieked, "How could you bring me here? You know I hate spiders." It was the first I'd heard of it, and there had been no mention of spiders on Wikipedia. But the damage was done. "I want to go home," he cried. "Take me home, now." "What about the pirate's cave? Chasing cows? Kite flying?" I asked, my voice trailing into a thin whisper. "Barbecue?" Bernie really did hate spiders. We had to leave.